Sharing screen. Yep. Hi guys. So good afternoon. My name's Jason Gavid, and I've been working with Magento for over 7 years. I'm also Managing Director of Lexel, so thank you for joining us today, and I'm going to pass you quickly to my colleague Finn.
Yeah, hi, what's going on guys? Thanks Jason. My name's Finn, I'm an analyst here at Lexel. My primary role is to assist merchants to grow and develop with Magento. Today we're going to be sharing with you some insights into the fundamentals of Magento 2. So some housekeeping before we get started. On the right hand side of your screen you'll see a questions box. Feel free to submit any questions as we go through the webinar, and we'll answer as many of those as possible at the end. Also, this webinar is being recorded, so we'll send you a copy, so there's no need to take notes. Just have a quick check there. It looks like most of the people we were expecting have joined, so that's good. And I'll hand back over to Jason.
Great stuff, thanks Finn. So if you're not familiar with Lexel, we were founded just over 7 years ago with the goal to provide merchants with a trusted partner to support their e-commerce needs. We're one of the biggest Magento agencies in the UK, and we support all tiers of business from startup to enterprise. We have created over 100 sites, and we continue to support over 50 brands. From humble beginnings in Lexel, Brighton, we've got now over 20 employees, and we've got 2 offices, one in London and one also in Brighton.
For today's agenda, we'll be looking at some of the really cool new features from Magento and how you can use Magento 2 as a platform to support your business. And we'll be covering some of the front-end and back-end features, and finally we'll wrap up by looking at Magento 2 Enterprise functionality. The Enterprise Cloud Edition, some of you may be aware of, we're actually going to save that for its own webinar next time. So what do we mean by front-end features? The front end is everything your users see and interact with, including design, functionality, and languages. The front end also incorporates UX, or user experience considerations, for example, how a user navigates through the site and the channels or paths they choose to do that. Magento have spent a fair amount of time improving the front end capabilities of Magento 2, and what we're about to show you is not featured in 1.x natively and are only included as standard in Magento 2. So the first feature we start with is full page cache, and we spoke about the importance of this in our previous webinar, which I'll share a link to the recording of at the end of this webinar. The bottom line is that it's extremely important that your store is fast to allow for good UX and SEO. Previously, full page cache was available as an extension on 1.x, but is now native on both community editions and enterprise editions of Magento 2. Next, we'll look at some of the work that's been done by Magento on the JS files. In the previous versions of Magento, there are about a dozen heavy JavaScript files. This had a negative impact on site speed and overall performance, and also made adding plugins or extensions messy and time-consuming from a development perspective. In Magento 2, the amount and structure of the JS files has been greatly reduced, leading to better performing sites and seamless integrations to third-party extensions, allowing you to give your site a unique look and feel. Magento 2 also supports the latest technology stack, including support for PHP 7 and MySQL Percona. This means the platform runs much faster and much smoother, using more efficient processes across the board. On average, the Magento 2 platform is running 20% up than Magento 1. Another great new feature is the complete checkout page overhaul. Unlike in Magento 1, guest checkout is now default, and the checkout process has been reduced from 6 steps to just 2. This leads to a better user experience and improved conversion rates. And they've also removed some of the long-winded checkout choices, again improving the user experience. For example, in 1.x, the user would have had to select a card type, be that Visa, MasterCard. In Magento 2, the platform will automatically assume the correct card type based on the first input number. Keeping with the theme of transactions, Magento have gone a long way in simplifying PCI compliance. Magento 2 has a number of payment options out of the box that allow you to receive payment details via your store. But also with Magento 2, we have out-of-the-box integrations with PayPal and Braintree, both allowing you to use an iframe that will circumnavigate the PCI compliance process. You can now also sign guest customers up to an account via the success or successful purchase page. In Magento 1, customers will have received a message along the lines of "Thank you for your order." The success page in Magento 2 includes a "Create an account" button and ensures that the details of the order are stored against the customer's account. This is a really great way to increase your repeat visitor traffic and secure customer for life. As with an account sign-up, you'll also get customer details such as email, enabling you to enroll them in your marketing strategies and company updates. So to wrap up the high-level overview of the front end, a few final improvements that I personally particularly like. Image compression is now an automatic feature of Magento 2. In Magento 1, this had to be done manually and then uploaded as a compressed image, which in my experience, most businesses were overlooking. Uncompressed images lead to heavy page weights and a decrease in page load time and have a general negative effect on site performance. And finally, something that is more applicable to people like ourselves, developers, but does have a knock-on effect for users of the platform, is a new testing framework, minimizing the manual effort required to test any added functionality or updates to your platform. Due to this framework, it is almost impossible for new functionality additions to interfere with existing components of the site. This has always been a problem in Magento 1 and would often lead to heavy development customizations and testing to ensure the site operated properly. The framework also allows any site, regardless of size, to run automated tests. The knock-on effect means that your site maintenance overheads will decrease, as a majority of the manual testing has been automated in Magento 2 and the platform is altogether more robust.
Okay, so I'm going to be moving on to some of the back-end enhancements. There's been a number of enhancements basically to make your life as a store owner a lot easier. And the first one is the auto upgrading and auto updating. So we've seen a number of issues with security in the last couple of months with Magento. There's been bugs and there's been hijacks on the checkout and there's been scripts that could be run. But now, similar to WordPress, Magento have automatically allowed you to update to the latest version. This means there's not going to be any massive version gaps, and we're not going to have the problems where clients are on 1.7 and they need to upgrade to 1.9 and it causes a huge amount of hassle. It's actually going to be automatically upgraded, so you've got the latest security patches and bug fixes, so that's a massive plus. Another feature in Magento 2 is importing. So they've made this a lot easier and a lot quicker. The APIs for importing don't actually stop from just importing in the back end. It's actually anyone running any stock scripts or anything like that. So the importing is around 40% faster thanks to Magento 2 and the improvements that have been made. So this obviously means that stock updates, all product imports, will run a lot more efficiently and quickly. Another useful feature, while on the point of kind of importing, is the ability to bulk image import. So you can basically apply unique images by attribute to each SKU, or apply a single set of images to all SKUs. So again, it makes it a lot easier to import things in bulk. One feature that I really had a gripe with in 1.x was the fact that you could not change an attribute set. So I'm glad to say that in Magento 2 this has actually been changed, and now if you assign the wrong attribute set, you can actually change it, which is great. So you just see where it's got the picture there, there's a little attribute set, and you can just go to the drop down and change the attribute set completely, so you don't have to redo the product like you used to in Magento 1.x, which is a nice little feature. And then there's admin table filtering. So each data view now includes a custom filtering option. This means that you can see a specific set of columns or set a specific query in the back end and then save these against a view. This will save considerable amount of time when you're looking for specific product sets that you need to go back to. So an example would be that you're looking for green t-shirts that are over £20, that kind of thing. You can set up basically a view to go back to, and it's really easy to set up and a really good set of functionality. And you can do that across the orders, the products, the customers, pretty much any data set in Magento 2. So the next and last one is the admin panel UI and UX. So this has been completely redesigned. It now works with mobiles and tablets, and it's a lot easier to navigate and find what you're looking for. And also just generally it looks a lot nicer. So it's a completely updated design and works a lot more efficiently and better.
Yeah, that's really good actually. I guess you could take your tablet home and continue working.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
So as a community edition user, we've already looked at some of the many advantages of the Magento platform. But by unleashing the power of Enterprise, Magento empower you with even more features to put further possibilities in your hands. So with Magento Enterprise, you get all of the community features as well as even more tools to power your growth. So what I've done is pick out some of my favorite features available in Enterprise to go through with you now. A list of the full Enterprise-only features is available on request. We have that list, and I'm happy to share that with anyone who is interested. So the first off then, boost sales and conversion. So there's a number of things that are available only to Enterprise users in terms of features. Things like customer segmentation tools to target promotions and merchandising, also industry-leading search to improve conversion rates from search, and automated product upsell and cross-sell rules to increase your average order value. To build customer loyalty, you can foster brand affinity by repeat purchases, by enabling customers to earn reward points, create gift registries and multiple wish lists, receive store credit, and you can even allow your customers to participate in private sale events.
So the Enterprise Edition allows you to ramp up your site for enterprise level traffic and loads with separate master databases for checkout, order management and products, and it also has support for MySQL clusters. That platform, this effectively means that you've got a separate database for each section, and that means it can scale massively. They've also increased the search functionality and introduced the elastic search technology, which is a really good, powerful search technology. So that's a really good feature enhancement as well. In regards to productivity, we can see a new business productivity tool. You can now create, review and schedule site changes without having to engage your IT support by using the new content staging and preview capabilities. Quickly optimize how product categories are arranged and automated sorting tools and user-friendly drag and drop tools. Magento are also releasing a B2B module specifically for enterprise. It hasn't actually been released yet. We're kind of the first people to know about this, but they basically created a B2B module that's extremely flexible and works really, really well. We're not actually going to cover that in today's webinar, but in a couple of weeks' time, we've actually got a webinar with a special guest, Lev Cribb, who's going to help us run the webinar in regards to B2B marketing. He was previously head of marketing at UK Fast and ON24, so we're going to run through some of the B2B modules that is included in Enterprise on that webinar. So Developers Corner. So this week we've had a chat with Scott. For you guys that are kind of not, this is your first webinar of Lexel. Basically, we ask a developer each week to give us a tip on Magento. So Scott has given us the tip in regards to transactional email templates. So Scott's tip is as follows. You can customize the transactional emails in Magento 2 if you go through to marketing and then transactional emails. You then click add new template and then you can load the email template you wish to edit and completely change the content. This means that you can customize the email templates that get sent to your clients and fit them completely within your branding guidelines. This means you can change all of the templates. There's probably about 20 in there. It's really easy to do and something that everyone should do because you can change them to make them feel more like your brand rather than Magento.
Awesome. We actually managed to wrap up a webinar in 15 minutes, which was our target, which is great. Thanks everyone for joining today. As always, I hope this information is useful to you. If you'd like to speak to myself, Jason, or any of the team, feel free to drop us an email, give us a call for any further information about Magento 2 or Magento 1. We're also looking for suggestions on webinar topics for upcoming webinars, so do feel free to let us know via email any topics that you would like to see covered. Otherwise, we'll let you know when the next webinar's out. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining, and I'm sure we will see you on the next webinar.